Now, in high definition, this is 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News at 6.
Families of soldiers embraced just moments ago at Robins Air Force Base as members of the 689th Combat Communication Wing arrived home for the holidays. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Leah Johnson. This is Eyewitness News at 6. Frank Malloy has the night off. Our top story tonight at 6, about 25 Central Georgia Airmen have returned home for the holidays. Just a few minutes ago, the members of the 689th Combat Communication Wing rolled into Robins Air Force Base. Laura Lynch Jones was at the base while she waited for the troops' arrival, and I'm sure it was a happy homecoming for lots of family members awaiting their loved ones. Laura.
Oh, you bet, Leah. It's such a wonderful sight. It just doesn't get any better than that, seeing these airmen come off the bus and be greeted by their families. You saw that emotional video at the top of the show with the kids running up to their dad and crying. It just sends chills all over. We're so glad that we could share that with you. But this is really a historic moment for the 689th. They've been in Iraq for the past several months, but of course they were there to set up in 2003 when the U.S. first went into Iraq, and then they were the last ones out. The deployed commander there was Major Tracy Parrish. Thank you so much. We appreciate your service. And he's joining us now with his family, Michelle, as well as his niece and nephew. Glad to see you guys. So what was that like, being the last ones in Iraq? That's really momentous.
I'd say it was just amazing being part of such a historic mission. Everybody was extremely proud of the work they did, and I couldn't be prouder of the professionalism that my troops displayed.
So what did it look like there as people were cleaning up, and you guys were cleaning up the technology and the communications equipment? Did the atmosphere change? Did it look different?
It was very busy, people transiting through, trying to go home, and we also had a big footprint because of end-of-mission ceremonies, so it was still busy, but we were able to tell a big difference in the footprint.
So you guys were definitely ready to come home, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the ride back, you guys were delayed a little bit coming out of Germany. The few aircraft problems. You're supposed to arrive home Friday, and then it got pushed to Sunday, and then here it is Monday, but they're finally home. Michelle, what have you been going through waiting for them to get here?
It's been a roller coaster ride waiting for them to get back, but as a spouse, we're kind of used to that. So, but it's just great to have them here.
Describe that moment when you see them get off the bus and you know that they're finally home safe and their boots are on the ground.
Oh, it's fantastic. It just makes Christmas all the much better. So,
and that's really great that you guys were able to make it home for the holidays, because it was looking like a good chance that maybe you couldn't.
That's true, but we were optimistic and it came true, so it's good.
Okay. So you guys have big plans for the evening. I want you guys to tell me what the plans are for the evening.
Video games and some pizza.
Video games and pizza. It doesn't get any better than that. You looking forward to Christmas with him being home?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. So a great evening here. So glad to welcome these troops home, the 5th Mob from Robins Air Force Base. They've been in Iraq and some of the last ones home. Great stuff, Leah.
All right, thanks a lot, Laura. And of course, we will have more on their homecoming tonight on Eyewitness News at 11. Well, many of you have welcomed back the troops in your own way on Facebook. Keisha Penniman says that thank you for the courageous men and women in uniform. This is the best Christmas gift ever, bringing them home. Merry Christmas. Connie English Smith posted, "Welcome home and thank you to you and your families for all that you have contributed to this great nation. Wishing you all a very Merry Christmas. You and your families are greatly appreciated." And Kim Cagle wrote, "I'll be home for Christmas. Really means a lot this season for our military and their families. Thank you." You can join in on the discussion on Facebook. Just type in 13WMAZ.com and become a fan of our Facebook by clicking on the like button. Tom Ellington will head up the Macon City Council committee that oversees city spending. By a 3-2 vote, members of the Council Appropriations Committee picked Ellington as their new chairman. Member Elaine Lucas nominated Henry Ficklin, a longtime appropriations chairman who returned to council last year. But the panel picked Ellington, a college professor, by 1 vote. Some of the other choices include Lauren Benedict to head Community Resources, Charles Jones as Employee Compensation Chairman, and Rick Hutto to lead Public Properties. And once again, by a unanimous vote, Virgil Watkins was chosen as Public Safety Chair. As Public Safety Chair, Watkins has a big task ahead as the city continues to work out its proposed youth intervention program. After a string of youth gun violence, Macon Mayor Robert Rickard announced on August 30th his plan to cut crime. Brittany Barber checked back with the mayor nearly 4 months later to find out where that plan stands.
In a forum at City Hall back in August, Macon Mayor Robert Rickard listed 7 things he wanted to do to fight a rash of teen violence. They included expanding Macon Police's Youth and Intervention Department, partnering with schools and the religious community, and working with workforce development to help teens find a job. Rickard says he's made progress meeting with Bibb Superintendent Romaine Dalamon and faith-based leaders, but he says other areas still need some work.
We said that we would have a youth advisory council. That's the responsibility of the mayor's office, and I have not done well there. We're working on that, but have not gotten a youth advisory council established, but we'll be looking to do that shortly after the first of the year.
He says several factors halted the complete development of his plans, the main one being money. Looking forward, he says sealing the deal to hire more officers is a top priority.
Working with City Council to try to get the funding for some additional positions in the police department. And to fund the position for the liaison with the U.S. Attorney.
It's up to the City Council's Public Safety Committee to approve that. They changed the plan presented by Police Chief Mike Burns from hiring 6 new officers to only hiring 1.
I don't know where my plan stands. The plan I first submitted to the mayor, the last thing that was considered by council wasn't even close to what we'd submitted to start with. I guess the urgency it's not there anymore.
And above all else, we will pray.
Rickard says their success in fighting crime has hampered his plan. He says since violent crimes declined this year, some question the need for increased efforts. Brittany Barber, 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News.
Police Chief Mike Burns says that they're attacking youth violence the best way they can without spending more money. He said they've ran a couple of curfew checks and partnered with the school districts and the sheriff's office for a truancy sweep. The Secretary of State's office is investigating suspected fraud in Forsyth's mayoral election. That's according to District Attorney Richard Milam. Amy O'Bear spoke to the DA, Mayor Ty Howard, and Forsyth's mayor-elect to find out more.
Now, I received a copy of this complaint from the Secretary of State's office. It says, quote, the district attorney requested an investigation on the number of absentee ballots and suspected forgeries on absentee ballots. District Attorney Richard Milam says he met with the probate judge a week after the November election because of possible forgery. He says at least 2 of those absentee ballots were thrown out by election supervisors because the signatures did not match the ones they had on file. He also says the number of absentee ballots this year was, quote, abnormally high compared to years past. Forsyth Mayor Ty Howard says he filed a lawsuit soon after the election because of the unusually high number of absentee ballots. Mayor Howard says he has since dropped the lawsuit, citing time and money constraints. Mayor-elect John Howard says he welcomes the investigation because he, quote, ran a clean campaign. He says he spent a lot of time getting out in the community, knocking on doors, and trying to get support. He says in the end, he thinks the results will be the same. The district attorney says the results of the Secretary of State's investigation will have no effect on the 2012 mayoral seat. Mayor-elect John Howard takes office January 1st. He won the November race by 151 votes. Leah?
All right, thanks a lot, Amy. Time now to get a check of our weather with Mike. Looking good out there.
I tell you what, it looks terrific out there. It's been pretty nice today. Temperatures got up into the 60s once again, but we're going to change a little bit, and tonight we're going to not be as cool as we have been, dropping down to the mid-40s tomorrow, way up in the 60s, close to 70 degrees. Wednesday, the same thing, and Thursday. Chance of showers comes in late tomorrow. Chance of showers and thunderstorms comes in on Wednesday, and chance of showers again on Thursday. Actually, we're keeping those chances as we go through the week. Leah?
All right, thanks, Mike. We'll talk to you again in a few minutes. Well, if you drove down Walnut Street in Macon today, you may have noticed a small gathering of people off to the side.
is the godfather of soul, and this must not ever be forgotten.
Find out why this former James Brown backup singer organized a memorial for the late singer. And as we go to break, here's a look at today's average gas price in Macon according to AAA. We will be right back.